everyone, and welcome to Virtual History 360. I'm Mrs. Ng with your Yesterday's History for Level 2. For Level 2, we discussed how massive debt was the driving factor behind the British policies following the French and Indian War. We talked about the Royal Proclamation of 1763 in Level 1, but that was more of a safety and control thing. For Level 2, we're really concerned about the money. England does some crazy things to try to get their money back from this war. And this led to colonists to begin smuggling their goods or bringing things into the country without the government's permission through illegal manners. So England does not like this at all and requires trials to be done by British judges because they're more likely to find you guilty. And they also gave their officers permission to search almost anywhere for these smuggled goods. England then tries to convince the colonists to pay the tax on the sugar, specifically molasses, by lowering the tax with the Sugar Act, thinking that, hey, maybe they'll stop smuggling and pay the tax. But when they did this, they also tagged on the ability to take any suspected smuggled goods without actually going to court for them. Then, to really ramp up their revenue, England issues the Stamp Act. This requires that colonists pay a tax on most printed goods, which would then be given a stamp to prove that the tax had been paid. Patrick Henry gets the idea that only the colonists should be able to tax themselves, which fuels colonial opposition to the taxes. And England snaps back with the Declaratory Act, giving themselves the power to tax and make all decisions for the colonies. In another effort to prevent the colonists from avoiding taxes, England issues the Townshend Acts, which would tax goods before they even arrived to the colonies, which then caused a surge of boycotts and the colonists began making their own goods. These boycotts almost put the British East India Company out of business, causing problems for England's economy. Parliament steps in with the Tea Act, giving this company control of the tea market and removing the tax on its tea. But the colonists did not like being told where to buy their tea from. So a few colonists stage a protest and destroy a shipment of tea worth millions of dollars in today's money. And this is the last straw for England. They want to keep control of the colonies. So they issue a group of consequences called the Coercive Acts, where the colonists are forced to have soldiers live among them, banned meetings in Massachusetts, closed the Boston port until the colonists paid back the price of the tea. The colonists nicknamed these acts the Intolerable Acts because to them, the treatment was unacceptable. So your bellwork question today is, which act do you think is the most unacceptable? Why do you feel this way? I'm Mrs. Ng with Yesterday's History, and I'll see you for Level 3.